Press Start Podcast.
And welcome back to the Washington Commanders podcast. The Press Start podcast. This is episode number 154. And this week I'm joined by my co host, Scott, aka Scobie1.
Hey, everybody. How is it going?
What's going on, man? And on the other side, we got Roger, aka Lunatic Oblivion. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, just another week. Nice
Yeah.
long 3-day weekend, though.
Right. Now we're starting off the week here with some crazy snow here in central PA. I don't know how much you guys got, but I know we're probably around like 6 to 8, maybe, give or take. And it takes a while for our apartment complex to get plowed out, so who knows when that's going to happen. Yeah, they take forever. Good thing I work at 2:30 in the afternoon tomorrow, so I don't got to worry about it. I'll be able to get out, no biggie. But nonetheless, though, let's go ahead and dive right into this week's episode, talking about kind of like what we've been playing. Neither one of you guys' list is extravagant or whatever word that you would like to use in that.
Extravagant?
Yes.
Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, possibly. I was thinking of another word too, but it's all good. It's here nor there.
Was it extrapolate?
Yeah. We'll save this for another time. But let's talk about Euphoria, Roger. EU4 or Europa 4.
Yeah, nothing special there. It's just a game that's always been on the back burner for me, and just decided to really put a bunch of hours into it this week again. And it's one of those things that I can't tear myself away from. It's my civilization, if you will.
Yeah, it's like one more turn, one more objective, one more challenge, one more mission. Just keeps you hooked, and you're like, oh shit, it's 4 a.m. What? Shit, I'm in trouble.
You hear your wife's alarm, and you're like, oh no.
She doesn't have one. You just hear Carl.
I'm about to say Carl's the alarm.
That's worse.
You're like, oh damn.
Arguably much worse.
Without a doubt. But yeah, you've been having fun playing that. You say you've been running with Josh too, who recently just built his PC. So that's awesome to see him back in the swing of things and whatnot. So I assume the game is co-op?
Co-op, not as much as it is just competitive, really.
No, okay.
Yeah, you're looking at 100 hours competitive game, but sometimes you can kind of play alongside your friend. Like we end up usually just not really fucking with each other too much and just stay into ourselves.
That makes sense. That's pretty dope. Scott, let's talk about it here with PUBG. Any chicken dinners this week?
Oh yeah, I'm always good for 2 or 3 a week. I logged in one of the other morning's first game of the day, and I just popped off. And then got a win. Then of course couple dumb games where I wasn't paying attention, but a few wins here and there. Just having some fun. As always, it's a nice, just mindless game.
Yeah. So fuck. Speaking of mindless games, I feel like I'm like a crack addict right now with Balatro. I can't get enough of it. Like I end up buying it on the Xbox. I'm playing it on the Xbox. I'm playing it on my phone. Like just cannot get enough of this game. And like the more and more I start to understand, and the more and more cards that I unlock, and the different jokers, and then like the combinations that you figure out with the jokers, you're like, I can't stop playing this, and like I want to at least get one win with every deck, and then move on to the higher stakes play. And I'm just like, there is a lot of content in this game. Like I understand why this game was in for running game of the year, because like it's such a simple game. It really fucking is. Like it's like solitaire meets poker, but like with a twist, and then like it cannot be described any better, honestly. And absolutely love it. I'm not sure if you guys played much of it at all, or if at all, but I highly recommend it. It is one of those games you will probably get lost in time. You're like, ooh, I'm in trouble. I did that quite a few times. Yeah, I was like, oh, I was supposed to be bed at 2 a.m. and it's like pushing 3, and I'm like, I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. But yeah, nonetheless, that's been a lot of fun. Let's talk about some more card games though, Roger. With MTGA, you stomping the yard, or are you getting curb stomped?
I got about a 90% win rate right now in standard. It feels gross. It really does.
Are you playing bad bots or what?
No. Sitting in like plat diamond right now, and I'm not only playing a few games a day just to finish missions, but it does feel bad playing against some of these kids. You just like show up and you're like, all right, what you got? And they're like, I got this deck that I just put together, and you're like, cool, shit, it's gone. It's bad.
It's a shitty deck. Try again
Get that
later.
shit out of here. Don't play with that shit.
So, not sure like when your next big in-person tournament is, but do you think your win rate would translate into a tournament?
I've thought about taking it to standard, Monday Night Standard. I'm thinking about going here soon for that. And yeah, I think it would translate well. Honestly, it's just one deck that I have to worry about, and I'm thinking I might be able to do it.
Yeah. Do you have like the deck that you use in the digital version as a physical form as
I
well?
bought all the cards I was missing. They're on their way, just
Uh,
to fill out the deck.
yeah, that's dope. That makes sense. And I mean, it kind of just sets it up because like if you're so used to curb stomping with a certain deck, might as well take that deck with you and see if it translates really
Hmm.
well in the real world. What's the deck that you have to be worried about? Like, what's so special about it?
So in Magic, red deck wins has always been an archetype that's just really cancerous to play against. And right now there's a turn two winning deck for red deck wins, and like it's mostly uninteractable.
You
Like
said
you
turn two
literally have
dub,
to build the deck just to deal with it.
turn two dub, like literally.
Yes, turn two.
Yep.
Turn two, you're already dead.
Turn two. I have all 5 parts of Exodius.
Well, man, my man drops like all three parts of Exodia in turn one. You're just like, wait, what? What the fuck just happened? Wait, stop. What?
You're like,
What?
GG's, boys.
No,
GG's.
I'm already dead.
Oh, man, that's great. Man, I wish I can get into Magic like I used to. Just it's definitely tough to get into. I want to play Star Wars as much as I want to, but I have yet to play that one time. It's just tough, man, for sure.
Oh,
But
especially with that attitude.
yeah, I don't really go and hang out and do in person card events, So it's definitely hard. But
Just
let's talk
making
about
time for it is hard.
yeah. But let's go and talk about another card game that me and you Scott we have been playing, and that's Pokemon TCG Pocket. I don't know about you, but man, last night was awesome. My or not last night. Let's just say overall in the day because my morning pack I pulled the Cerebi EX card that I needed, and then later that night at 10:30 I pulled the Pidgeot EX card that I needed, and I
And
completed the set with the special card or the non-special cards, the star cards or whatever. But I have 68 out of 68 for that set. And moving back to the OG to see if I can play. I think I'm still like 12 away for that one, but a lot of them are like EX cards, so the the pools
It'll
on those
take
are
a
gonna be
while.
tough. Yeah.
It'll take a while.
But how's your collection going? Did you finally complete the Mystic
I
Island? I
need
think it is.
I need a fucking superior, right? I don't need the special superior. I need just the regular superior. And let me tell you, I have not pulled the regular superior in any of my. Clearly, I haven't pulled it. I still need it. And I have 4 of the special art superiors. I've pulled like 4, maybe 5 of them, and it just pisses me off to no end that I don't have that card yet. It's the same thing that happened with Genetic Apex when all I needed was like the Beedrill, the Gyarados, and Pidgeot to get all 151 to get the special Mew card. It's the same feeling over and over again. I open it up and every time it's not. Don't worry, I'll get 3 Magic Carps.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Uh,
Yeah, that one.
well, hopefully
Yeah,
trading
don't
comes
worry.
soon because I'll give it to you. I have 4 of them.
Don't worry. Yeah, it must be nice. What's that like? Yeah, because I'm sitting here with like eight of the special edition superiors, and I don't want them. And the only thing I can do
Cry.
is cry and like glitz and glam them up, and it's just absolutely absurd to me, and I hate it so much.
Oh man.
But it has been fun though. I did actually have to put a support ticket in.
Oh wow.
For a while there, I was between level ups and like the dailies and the quests, the side like the daily quests that they were having you
Hmm.
do,
Yeah.
and like the New Year's event and all that good stuff. Um, I think the most I had like 108 pack hourglasses.
Oh damn.
I had 108 pack hourglasses, and I went through. I tried to get that superior. Spoiler alert: I didn't get it. Right.
Surprise.
But when I was done that day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save like 36, and some 36 of them. That way, if I get another wild bug up my ass and I want to pick some packs, I can. I logged in the next day and they were gone.
Oh damn.
And I know for a fact that I did not use them because I specifically said I need to leave at least 36 so I can pull for so I can have like 3 packs
3 packs,
worth
yeah.
because every 12 hours, fuck that noise. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Just be itching at the
And
lid like
it's straight up,
I need more.
gone, 0. Like I logged in the next day, it was 0, and I got my 4 from my dailies.
Mhm.
Your login,
Yeah.
your pack, and your wonder pick, and so I had like 4, and then I logged in the next day and I had 0,
And you had 0.
and I had 0 again.
I wonder how many times that may have happened to me. I just didn't realize it.
Yes, exactly. So what does any self-respecting person do when they're angry and they want to make sure they're right? They go to Reddit. So I get to Reddit, and other people have already been having this for like the past like week or 2, and I'm like, I'm going to support and give me my pack hour glasses because this is some bullshit. I want them. Give me my pack hour glasses. I need them. I have like 200 and some Wonder Pick hour glasses. Because I'm still not convinced that the math there makes sense. It's like some days I'll be like, I'll reset and I'll be like, oh, I need 3 for this pick. I'll get 3, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you need 1, but you can't afford 1. It's like, what? How can I not afford 1? They're like, don't worry. And then the next day it's like, would you like to replenish to 5? Would you like to replenish 5 of them? So it's just like, I don't think the math's there. I don't think the math's really there. I'm not
That's
sure
not how math works.
it ain't mathing.
Yeah.
It's like you could use 4 gold.
So I'm not
If
sure
you
if you've
had
been
it,
using
would
the
you like
tool
to
or
buy
not,
gold?
but like you can like wish list cards that you need. And then
Mm.
like when you're going through your wonder picks, it'll put a heart next to the card, like if it's one of those cards that you need. So like when I'm looking through the wonder picks, I'm not picking any wonder picks unless it doesn't like if it doesn't have a heart next to it, I'm not picking it unless
Oh, I
it's
usually
a
just
bonus
go.
thing.
I usually just I take the long route. I go around my elbow
Go
to
back
get
to
to
your
my axe,
collection
and
and then
I go into the
oh
collection.
no,
I hit the slider. I look down. I'm like, I
no,
need that one, and then it'll be like, oh, it's only available in a pack. Don't want to do that. And I'll be like, oh, that's available in a wonder pick. Which one? Cool. We'll see that one.
yeah,
Got
no,
it. Or
yeah.
unless it's a
Save your time.
superior, they don't get it.
Just save your
But
time because it's awesome because like once you get it from your wish list, it takes off of the wish list automatically for you. So I'm like, this is nice. So
that's all
highly
that. That's where
recommend
all
using
that
that
effort
feature.
towards that's where all that effort toward keeping hourglasses safe
Right.
went.
Every time you waste your time, they're like, this motherfucker don't need it. We're taking him away. He's wasting time. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some other games here. I want to talk about some of the other ones I've been playing here. I downloaded Harold Halibut. This is a Game Pass game. It's been one of the ones I've wanted to check out. It's a very interesting game. I'm gonna get some gameplay up here on screen as I talk about it because it's very very different. Not sure if either one of you guys have ever checked this out. Um, but this was made by like a really small developer, like 3 people if that, and it's kind of like they're all of the stuff is made out of like clay, and then like it's like that stop animation or something like that. I forget what
Stop
the
motion.
stop motion, and it's like all like hand done, but it looks really really cool. Concept of the story, like Earth was dying or to that effect, and you left Earth, and the ship that you were on crashes on this planet, and but it crashes underwater, and then you as this new civilization is living underwater on this ship. And that's that, and you're kind of trying to figure out like why have we been stuck here so long? Why can't we relaunch? And then you like receive this like mystery message from Earth saying like, "Hey, Earth actually wasn't that bad. It got better. We turned things around. You should come back." So now like that's kind of where I'm at. But this is some this is a review from IGN. I just wanted to grab it because it throws together a bunch of like just random um gameplay snippets. But so far it's really enjoyable. Just hop in for a few
Mhm.
minutes because with the new quest that Xbox has triggered, like before, like it was like play an Xbox game and you get like 10 points and it counts towards your weekly streak, but they didn't give you any time limit. Literally, all you had to do is load it up to the main screen. And it was like, ding, you got it. Now it's like you have to play for 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, let me find a game to play for 15 minutes. Or if I have enough time, I'll play this for a lot longer as needed. But I also been bouncing between this and Vampire Survivors, which is also on my list. And I didn't realize how far I was technically into beating Vampire Survivors. Like, I'm at the point now where I can kill Red Death. I just have to collect those 4 items on the screen and then kill him at the end. But like,
Mhm.
I'm struggling to get there because of how far apart all 4 items are. by the time I get it, it's like they're overrunning. I feel like I'm just taking a sprint and not taking the time to actually level up.
Wait,
But
wait, wait, wait. You think Red Death's the last enemy?
no, I don't think. I know he's not the last enemy, but like,
Come on, Roger. You gotta let him have his
I didn't
fun.
realize I was that far
You
already.
sure
Mhm.
you're not the vampire? Because you just sucks the fun out of that one. Damn.
But yeah,
I
because
was
I
waiting for
was
next week.
yeah, I was looking at the walkthrough and stuff like that. I know there's a couple more parts after that that I have to do still, but it's just like step one where I'm at now is let's kill Red Death and get his
Mhm.
mask, and then it kind of goes from there. So really, really excited to eventually do that. But I was just like, man, I was like this far like when the game first came out, like last year or whatever, 2 years ago, and
Mhm.
I didn't realize that I was that far. I was just like casually playing the game, not really paying attention to what I was really ultimately doing. Like
Mhm.
when I first got the yellow relic on one of the last levels before this, and I was just like, I stumbled upon it. I didn't even try. I was like, oh, okay, perfect.
Oh, hello there.
And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I see where I'm at. This is all I got to do left. All right, not bad. So yeah, no, those are the two games that I really wanted to highlight outside of Metaphor ReFantazio. Been playing through that. That game, they keep layering on more and more and more. I was hyping it up last week. It's still great, still enjoyable, but I'm like, man, this game's gonna be fucking difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Like some of these dungeons and shit that you have to go through are intense, and I just love the nifty features that like you get like halfway through the battle, and you're like, I'm not liking how this is going. I'm probably not going to end this well. You could just hit one button and it starts the whole fight all over. Get all your items back, everything that you use, and you're just like start over, retry. Um, but then it's like sometimes I enter a place and I'm like I shouldn't be here yet. You know, I'm not that high of a level to. I'm getting like one shot by the basic enemies, and I'm like, hey, shouldn't be here. Let's leave.
Welcome
And
to a JRPG, my friend.
it's definitely different because like one of the first ones that you put me on, Roger, was when we played Near Replicant, and that one wasn't too bad. It wasn't too hard, but I can see that this is going to be a ton longer, without a doubt, like 3 times longer. um,
Mhm.
but what's going to be interesting is just like playing with the different archetypes, which are like you're building your party and you're like trying to be a seeker, healer, mage, that kind of stuff, and like you can change them out and whatnot. And like I went into this dungeon and I didn't realize like a mage makes the enemies like angry, and they go in just like stampede mode, like, and they just like go ham, and I'm like, bad idea. They don't like this. So I got to switch up that and whatnot. But I do also like the feature, like you can see what other players have beat this area with, and like the different combinations of like weapons
Mhm.
and archetypes, and you just like, ooh, I'm gonna go with this one. You click it, and it applies everything if you have the items and everything at where it needs to be, and it'll apply whatever they used for you. And I was like, that's pretty dope. But yeah, there's that. Just wanted to give a quick update on Metaphor. But was there any other games you guys wanted to highlight this week before we talk about the news? Nothing for you guys? Cool.
No here.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the industry news then. All right, so we do got a couple of things here. Raj, if you want to kick it off with Sony.
Yeah. While others are, being greedy and selfish, Sony is actually doing the opposite. They actually donated $5 million to help the wildfire relief in Los Angeles, which is actually really nice to hear.
Yeah, I was really excited to highlight this kind of news for Sony because
This
obviously
is the kind of news we need right now.
we kind of throw Sony under the bus like all the fucking time, but this is a way to put them on the pedestal and give them the the props that they deserve, honestly. And like they were talking about, like we have done 35 plus years of business in LA. They were like, this is our chance to finally get back to the city and
Hmm.
whatnot. Because yeah, obviously that stuff's been awful. They have actually been doing really well. They're starting to contain most of it now at this point, but it took 3 countries. So obviously Canada, us, and
Hmm.
Mexico are all three of us are trying to tackle this. But yeah, man, it's been awesome to see how this has been handled. Like I was watching the football game, Commanders, last night, and Fox was highlighting. Like they were like, what would you want?" Talking to the firefighters, like, "What do you guys need?" And they were like, during our breaks and our downtime, we would love to watch football. And what they did, not Sony, Fox partnered up with the fire departments and brought like a tent station or whatever, and sent up like 10 TVs for them to watch the games. And I was like,
Hmm.
that's dope. That was badass. But and then there was another thing I wanted to talk about was for the donations. Call of Duty's also doing something. They brought like a bundle pack where like every single dollar from anybody who buys it goes directly to them. So I was like, oh, that's really nice too, because obviously we know the money that gets printed from Call of Duty with the bundles. That I'm sure that's going to raise a ton of money. But let's go ahead and take a look here. Scott, if you want to go ahead and talk about Fortune's Run, this was a very interesting topic.
Yeah, so interesting to say the least. So this is an early access game that's not gonna be updated for 3 years. And originally you're like, what's the deal with that? Well, the developer's gonna be in jail. So uh yeah, so this came out in September 2023. It's been, very positive on Steam. However, uh there's the developer has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. Um, yeah, and
Turns out you're not supposed to be violent, I guess, towards people.
yes, so the developer Dizzy said, "I've been sentenced to 3 years. If you're sentenced to prison for the next 3 years, it's a long story, but I've lived a very different life before I was a game developer, and I wasn't living very well." Case is about 5 years old now. I've been going through the legal process the whole time I've been working on this. I have been found guilty and sentenced. I am going away next month. It's a shame, but it is the consequences of my actions. I was a very violent person, and I hurt a lot of people in my life. Unfortunately, the sentence isn't going to help with that at all, but I guess we all know that. They were developing this, they said, alongside their wife, who was hospitalized last year due to some illnesses. But she also won't be continuing the development in their absence. So it's one of those things. It sucks. It is the consequences of actions. Hopefully there's some learning going on there, and a little bit of maybe some character development, and when they get out,
Hmm.
if they still want to develop this game, or if anybody's even still interested, hopefully they'll be able to come out and keep pressing forward with that. you know
Did any Roger? Were you able to check this game out at all on Steam?
I never played it.
I feel like I heard about this game, but I don't know too much about it. But yeah,
Same.
this was an interesting article. I just wanted to cover because we don't really hear too much about this kind of stuff. But anybody that follows Fortune's Run, it'll be a while until you'll be able to see any updates, unfortunately. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move on and talk about our gaming news. All right, kicking off here with the Xbox related news. This probably could have been an industry, but whatever. Microsoft is starting off the year with some more layoffs across many divisions, including the gaming industry. In total for Microsoft, it's another like 1% cut. Details specifically around how many of that is for gaming says that last January they laid off 1,900 people, so hopefully it's not nearly as much. Um, and then 650 came later in September, so hopefully it's not too crazy in the department. Obviously, they're just getting bigger and bigger, so I'm sure there's a lot of redundancy, which we talk about all the time, but it's not good regardless in the grand scheme of things. But you guys have any comments on Microsoft laying off more people?
Just feels like there's no loyalty within the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's 100% a double standard when it comes to, like you just said, Roger, loyalty. They all
We are
these people.
supposed to have like unwavering loyalty to these companies, but then they're like,
Yeah,
bye.
like I'm supposed to jump in front of a bullet for Bill Gates, or my boss or my director, but like one, one one not successful release, one not successful project, one failed project, anything like that, and they lose 75 cents. Like, you know, they take me out back and they just shoot me in the back of the head and tell my family I fell.
I've seen
Like,
horses that get better treatment than these people.
yes, yes, at least they have the decency to turn some of those horses into glue afterwards. But yeah, no, fuck 'em, I hate it.
Yes,
hate,
that
hate it.
is.
Hate when you see people treated like that. Um, and it's just another cog in the machine, another casualty of just the evil behind greed and and running these companies so ruthlessly.
Well said, my friend. Well said. Let's talk about something though that where the big corps actually are listening to feedback from the players, and that's for Call of Duty. They're adding a crossplay toggle. So this is specifically, I don't know if it's in the full game, but this is really targeting for like ranked play, and people were tired of playing against PC players because of all the hacks that were going on, and so now you'll be able to toggle it, play with consoles only. PC will be only in PC only lobbies, as if you choose that. So
Yeah,
I'm
but you guys get aim assist.
it's nowhere near the hacks that
Yeah,
these
but you get
guys be
aim
having.
assist. Yeah, but you get aim assist.
Yeah, still doesn't matter. But glad to see that they're finally working on that because my God, Call of Duty is like jumped off a fucking cliff as of recently, both for Warzone and multiplayer. It's just like when the game first came out, we're like, man, like Black Ops 6 is doing really well. Awesome campaign. Zombies is phenomenal, which by the way is still fucking phenomenal. We get a new map in about a week. Um, Multiplayer was a lot of fun too. And then they're just like, where's our foot? Shit, we shot ourselves in the foot, and it's just like, man, like how, like, why not
Mama,
try?
man, why are you like this?
Right? It's
So I wore the backwards hat for this episode, because it was between this and my tin foil hat, and my tin foil hat is fitting a little tight these days, right? But it still had one good genius idea. I honestly think they're just trying to see how many people that they can lose and piss off, just to see the rubber band effect when people come back for Verdansk. It's like all of the people that are
yeah,
gonna be leaving don't play this game. Day one they drop Verdansk. Everybody's coming back for this shit.
yeah, rumor has it season 3 is when that should be back.
So see, I was thinking March 10th. I really was. I really was thinking because that's right in the middle of their season. They'll do a season reloaded, and it's the anniversary.
Yeah,
But we'll
we'll see,
see. You
man.
heard it
Yeah.
here last folks.
Yeah, so hopefully everything works out for Call of Duty because I actually stopped playing Call of Duty too outside of zombies. Just stopped grinding. Like I was prestige like 4, 5, whatever. Was putting in the work. Now I just don't
Nerd.
even try. Don't even try. I am excited though for the zombie map, Roger. I don't know about your excitement, but the story so far has been really fun. The Easter eggs, the first one was better. Second one, pretty lackluster, but overall it's been an enjoyable experience. But nonetheless, let's talk about some other exciting news because Roger, I know we used to talk about like the right to repair a lot on the podcast back in the day, and this is awesome to see that Xbox has finally announced that you'll be able to you have like other repair options. Like there's actually a website for you to order parts if you want to do it yourself. But they did partner with a third party company called Ubreak iFix by Assyrian, which becomes the first Xbox authorized service provider. I actually use them to fix my iPhone. We have the closest one on like 22 Jonestown, and but yeah, I mean, I'm sure that this will actually help like tenfold instead of like having to ship your console into
Hmm.
Microsoft and having it fixed. Like you can take it to your local company like this and
Yeah,
just have them fix it right on the spot, whether it takes like a day or two or whatever. You know, that's awesome to see that there are more options for this, or order the parts and fix it yourself. You guys have any comments on the right to repair for Xbox consoles?
it's mind-boggling how great this is. Like, this is the kind of thing we need big companies to be able to adopt these approaches so that we can go, yeah, this is what we want. And then Apple goes, but you lick too many windows to do it yourself.
You're too stupid. We need this guy that got out of high school but has been working with us for 2 years because you can't figure it out. But don't worry, Trevor with the long hair who just smoked a fucking bowl on his lunch break can take care of it. Uh, like right to repair is something that should be happening across the board. If you buy
Yeah.
something and you own something you have, whether it's a phone, a house, an Xbox, like a car, John Deere tractors was a huge one. That was a huge
Hmm.
one in the agricultural community. Right to repair is massive, and it's something that should be happening right out of the gate. So to see Xbox and Microsoft, KK, to see Xbox and Microsoft take this approach is awesome. It's awesome news. Nothing. I don't think there's
It's just,
anything
it's
bad to
just,
say about it
it's amazing.
at all.
It's so good.
Only caveat is if it's because they laid off a bunch of repair techs. That's the only,
That is
that's the
true.
only caveat.
You figured it
Um,
out.
yeah, right to repair has always been
That
awesome.
tinfoil hat had
And
another one in there, I guess, too.
oh, dude, I got some notches in that post. How can we save money? Make them fix their own shit and stop paying our people. Stop sending our people to go get certified and then making them go through all these courses that we pay trainers
And
for.
then
that
when
we
they
pay
break
everything.
it, they have to buy a new one.
Yep, when they break it, they got to buy a new one. We're gonna make it super difficult, and let me guess, those parts are fragile.
Oh,
You ever heard of explosive screws? You have now.
you heard it here first, folks. But let's talk about something else that's been very explosive in the PlayStation community.
PlayStation finally figured out people don't want live service games, I guess. So PlayStation has announced, or Sony has announced, they are canceling 2 unnamed live service games. They decided the community, this is not what the industry needs. And the industry said, yes, you're right. Wow, you figured it out.
And then they went back to doing whatever the hell they were doing. They're like, "Hey guys, we know we didn't announce these games, but we wanted to let you know that we listened to you and we canceled these games that we didn't tell you about. Thanks."
Man,
anyway,
cool.
anyway, and
And
they
you were
just go
saying?
back to what they were doing.
Yeah, this just adds to their long list of live service games that they've canceled. Obviously, we know the epic failure of Concord, but the most recent one that they just announced was the God of War live service by Blueprint, gone. Sci-fi live service game from Bend, gone. Twisted Metal live service game, gone. Last of Us
Good.
multiplayer game,
Good riddance. Holy.
Spider-Man live service game, gone. Unknown live service game from Deviation Studio, gone.
That's a huge loss.
Unknown sci-fi live service game from First Strike, gone. And Operation
Not as
Payback.
big of a loss as the first one, but still a huge loss.
Operation Payback from Bungie, gone. Like, absolutely insane. Like, what was? I can't even tell you what year it was specifically, but I do remember covering when they were like, "Hey guys, we're getting into the live service market. We have 10 of them in production right now." And we're like, I think they're a
Why?
day late and dollar short, and we don't need this.
Why?
And just so
Why?
you're already aware, yes, all of them have no business being a live service game.
So
None
far, I
of
feel
them
like
are
there's been
games that would
one.
make sense.
There's been one that has honestly captured and done successfully. Helldivers 2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's fair.
That's the only one.
And it did a good job.
Yeah.
It just it played well. That's all it needed to do.
Yeah, it
We
definitely
don't ask
did
for
everything.
much.
Yeah, it did everything that it was supposed to do, and still doing.
We don't ask for a lot, so when you don't give us that, we notice.
Yeah, but yeah, sucks to see PlayStation just wasting money, time, and resources. And but I forget where I read it, but I guess someone was like pleading. They were like, we need the game industry to start buying more remasters and remakes from us. Hence, this is coming from a Sony developer of some sort, and they were like, so we can make these bigger not live service single player games because they're costing more. And I'm like, no, that sounds like a you problem, like not an us problem.
Sounds like a
Like,
money management
yeah,
problem.
it sounds like something is
sounds
going
like
on.
sounds like somebody's making decisions that they shouldn't be
Shouldn't
making.
be.
I mean,
They're using a broken magic 8-ball. Like, get the fuck out.
they're remaking and remaster games that are like a couple years old. Like they're not even like, where's Bloodborne remake? Like the game that people actually want, a remake that people actually want, like a PC version or PC port, but that's not fucking emulated. Like there's games that need to be remade and remastered, and there's a lot of them that don't need to be. But one day they'll figure it out. I mean, Nintendo, they don't give a shit. They're just going to remake games from any console that they want and just sell it to you again at $70, and people still buy it.
And
And
people
nobody
are gonna fucking
complains,
buy it.
right? Nobody
Okay,
complains. But
You're goddamn right.
I do want to segue into Nintendo, Scott, because this is probably some of the biggest news that we got this week.
Man, I feel like both of my episodes this year so far have just been like, I'm the good news fairy. Not so much this time. It's not bad news. It's just news, but then good news, right? So we'll start off with the meh news first. The Alarmo, the
meh
amazing,
news.
the Alarmo, the amazing product that we were super hyped about. Delayed from January to early March.
For the public release, unless you're like a
for the-
private
yeah, for
member,
the
it's
public.
available right now.
So yeah, I got the 4 of mine sitting over here. I got them yesterday. Just kidding. Just kidding. Not that you could see it amongst my random shit here. So that's kind of a bummer. But they have their reasons for doing what they're doing. That's fine. But onto, the real bread and butter of the Nintendo section here, and that is the Switch 2 Electric Boogaloo has finally been revealed, maybe ahead of their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very, very good chance that this was ahead of their schedule, like 99.999% repeating chance
Yeah.
that this was ahead of their schedule. But nonetheless, they have finally officially revealed the Switch. There's speculation about the release date, although nothing has been definitively said, unless I have missed something in my perusing earlier today. I mean, they could have said it 5 minutes ago, and we would be none the wiser. Except for I googled it 4 minutes ago, and we don't have anything yet. But as you can see here, they're just kind of going through the motions. And then they're going to be introducing their biggest single point of failure here upcoming when they show you the Joy-Cons and how they connect. But it looks good. It's a rebrand. It's nothing spectacular that you can see right with your eyes. Nothing visible to be too excited about, other than just some new hardware. But they are saying that this is going to be on par with the Xbox One S, I believe it was.
One X.
The One X.
Mm-hmm.
Which you hear a lot of people say, like, okay, like, who gives a shit about that? This is supposed to be a next gen 2.0 console, but Nintendo Switches don't need to be that powerful. They never have been.
Yeah.
Nintendo has never needed to be that powerful. Nintendo does not give a shit about your graphic needs, because it doesn't matter, because the games still look good and they play well, with some exceptions.
Yeah, like it's all about the content,
Yeah.
not the graphics. And that's the thing we seem to like discuss a lot here is like we're like, "Oh my god, the graphics look insane." It's like, "Awesome. How's the gameplay?" But the graphics.
Trust me, the graphics more than make up for the gameplay. You will not be missing anything, because you will be just enthralled by the
Enamored.
graphics. Yeah, there's about 3 things you do, half of them bug, but the graphics, man, let me tell you about the graphics.
Chef
But
kiss.
no, super exciting to see. It looks sleek. It looks very clean. I personally really wish they would have kept like the Joy-Cons, the colored, but I'm sure they're going to be selling us that
Mm-hmm.
at some point. I think right out of the box, the way it looks is nice. It's clean. It's sharp. You can see it's a little bit bigger. The Joy-Cons, they finally heard people who are above the age of 8 that have human-sized hands. So the Joy-Cons are looking a little bit bigger. When they disconnect, your connection pieces there are looking a little bit better. They're not sliding on the rails anymore. However, we did talk a little bit, made a little poke at that single point of failure, which is that connection port right there. So hopefully they doubled up on that, made that a little bit more sturdy, or at the very least make it easy to repair.
Right.
Or make it not
Yeah,
plastic.
or make it not plastic, but gotta save some money. But I have been seeing just across the board, just in my perusing, my scrolling, my things like that. Like I saw earlier, the Donkey Kong that's gonna be coming out on one of the games of the Switch 2 basically looks like Donkey Kong from the movie, from the Super Mario Brothers movie. Apparently it is that good. You see it, and it doesn't need to be much better than that, because if you can nail that, you're fine.
hmm
Um, at this point, waiting game for a release date. I know we had talked a while back, and we had there's been speculations about March. So I'm not sure if that's still on the table.
Probably not, because they have a direct on April 2nd to reveal everything that we need to know
To
about it.
reveal
Yeah,
everything.
speculation is showing like
Including
a
all
June.
of our Metroid game and
Yeah,
all that stuff,
it's
probably.
basically.
Yeah.
I think it's shooting for a June or July
That would make
release date
sense.
is
That would
when it's
make
supposed to
sense.
drop. Yeah,
Yeah. So do we have dibs on do we have our vote on what we think would be the flagship game with it?
there's gonna be
The
quite a few.
Metroid.
ship game? Metroid?
It's Metroid.
I
It's
mean, the
always
one that they were
Metroid.
showcasing in the trailer was obviously a new Mario Kart. Obviously Mario
Yeah, it
Kart
was
9 or
Deluxe
whatever the
9.
hell they want to call
Yeah.
it. Um, because there's a lot of new maps that were showcased in the trailer, and plus someone pointed out like there could be up to 24 players now in Mario Kart because you can see the starting point, the little cutouts where they would start at. There's 24 of them now, so that was a pretty cool thing to point out. Rumor has it priced at about 400. I think that's reasonable with the given the upgrade. As long like I'm curious about the display. Like I personally think it has to be OLED, but I know it doesn't need to be. But if it's
I
going to cost
mean,
more than the
I mean, at
OLED, you
this
might as well.
point, I mean, at this point, it should be OLED.
At
Like,
this point, if it's not, that was intentional, and they hate
Because
us.
then they're going to sell us the OLED Switch
They're
2
gonna sell
in
us the
about 3
OLED Switch
years.
2, those rat bastards. You
Yeah,
can
for
get the OLED
500.
version, or you can get the Switch 2 Lite.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
Switch to like, yeah,
it's gonna be
damn.
yeah.
ridiculous.
I personally think and agree with a lot of people that they dropped the ball on the name. They literally could have just called it the Super Nintendo Switch, and like it would have been the perfect fucking name. Here nor there.
Mm.
And this is honestly, someone pointed out too that this is the first sequential console release for any Nintendo console.
Yep.
And it actually leaves Xbox now as the only or only console maker to never have a sequential new console because it went Xbox, the 360, the Xbox One, and now the Xbox Series X and S.
Well, what about the new 3DS?
Nope, because it's still not
Because
the.
that's
But it was
It
never
wasn't the 3DS 2,
two,
was
right?
it?
It wasn't the 3DS2. That's what they're talking about. Like,
I
there's
get what
only
you
one
mean. When we're
console.
saying
It-
like numbers, it's very pedantic, but I get you.
Yeah, I was
It's
like,
extremely,
because obviously
extremely
PlayStation has
pedantic.
always had one through five, and now the Switch 2. But yeah, pretty
Over
interesting
here
point out
arguing
there.
semantics of gaming console releases. I love it. That's the like thrilling shit that our people are here for. I love it.
Like I talked about during 2 episodes ago, our first episode of the year when we did talk about the leaks. I do think the game is going to have a crazy launch lineup with Mario Kart 9, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and the new Pokemon game. Like I think those are going to be three main games that are coming. We also know that Breath of the Wild and I think Tears of the Kingdom are getting a Switch 2 enhancement or whatever. So like you're going to have those Zelda games that are going to running on that. Um, so I mean, there's a lot moving forward for this console. I'm excited to pick it up as well. I don't know about you guys. You guys planning to grab it day one, or you gonna wait and see?
I
Not day
mean,
one.
depends on how much money I have.
Yeah, it's
Bar money,
yeah.
bar the
No,
money. Like
if
if you
everything
have
was
the money,
free,
are you getting it? Is the question.
Yeah, if I had the money, I'll get it
Yeah,
definitely because I want to be able to play these games that most likely are going to be gated.
right. And I think those three that I just named are going to be Switch 2 exclusives.
Guarantee.
And like out of those three games with Metroid Prime, Pokemon, and Mario Kart, if they're not bundled in together, obviously, which one do you guys plan to pick up first?
Metroid,
Metroid.
Metroid, 100%.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna get Metroid and Mario Kart at the same time, like
Mhm.
clearly, but
Yeah,
clearly, of
but
course.
the one that you really want to play is Metroid. Obviously, I guess coming off your stream of playing one of the OG Metroids when you played it on the
I still
emulation
have to
on
play
PC.
the rest of them, but yeah, honestly, I really wouldn't mind. I'd really dig playing some Metroid. I think
Never played a
Metroid
Metroid,
Prime
so that'll
4.
be awesome to hop in and check it out. But yeah, guys, any other coverage you guys want to talk about with the Switch 2 at all? I do appreciate the new kickstand. Like I hate
I was just
the
gonna say that I really want to give a shout out to the kickstand because that original kickstand was dog water, absolute dog water.
I'd rather drink dog water than use that, is what we're
It was
saying.
it was awful. It was
Absolutely
awful.
horrible.
It was absolutely just the worst thing that they probably could have done, and I'm so happy that they spent so much time showcasing that shit in the reveal. Where they're like, check it. They're like, look.
We fixed it. We fixed it. It's fixed. It's fixed.
They're like, yeah, you want to lay it down like a pancake? Not that much, but close, right? And then they're just like, put it back up. They're like, it does all of them. Because if you had the original Switch, you could sit there and you would put it on the kickstand, and if you breathed too hard,
it followed.
it just fell over. You just heard that. You just heard that shit snap. You got 15 yards for roughing the passer, and that was it. It was awful.
I told you this was the Washington Commanders podcast, you know. But no, there was another feature I wanted to highlight that fans are speculating right now is that it's going to have like a mouse support. Like apparently there's an optical sensor on the top of the Switch that allows you to, and even they showed in a trailer, like with them running it across the ground, that it could have like a potential like mouse function, like a keyboard or for computer. So that'd be very interesting to see how that would play out. Um, and there's also a new mysterious button that's on the right Joy-Con that no one knows what it is. A lot of people are speculating it's the new C button. That's supposed to be like a capture button, which is
Oh
kind of already
man,
on the
it's the
Switch.
mysterious button. What else needs to be
Yeah,
said?
But they were
It's
talking
it's
about
the
the
red button.
mysterious button.
there are a lot of
There's always a mysterious button.
speculation saying that you'll be able to like kind of like screen share or even like cast to certain TVs that support the ability to do so, kind of like with like iPhones and Androids and shit. So it'd be interesting because obviously you can dock
Crazy.
it, but like if you can't dock it because you're on the go and you want to play it on the TV and you didn't bring the dock, like that'll be nice to have as a feature. But
This is like
Hmm.
just a built-in capture card, and that's the toggle
that'd be
for it.
insane.
That'd be fucking nuts. It's yeah.
You better have a pretty big SD card in there to capture the content on. But yeah,
It's all in the cloud
I
now.
think that's everything I wanted to cover on the Switch too. But was there anything else that you guys saw or any speculations that you guys were covering at all?
Nothing really. I
Nah,
hope it.
just
I hope it does
excited.
well. Yeah, I hope it does well. I hope it'll take me a while to buy it, but I want to see what else coming out for it, and I want to get something that Metroid I'm excited for, but not day one, and not right away. But man, I can't wait. Nintendo's really they've really done right by a lot of their players and a lot of their user base.
Mm,
And I think this is just going to be another iteration of just them giving people what they want.
yeah, there's actually one last rumor I wanted to cover. Speculation right now is that it's been quite some time since we had a proper 3D platform Mario game, and it's been like 8 years
Hmm.
since we had Odyssey, and that developer has been very, very quiet ever since Odyssey is released. So they're like, it also could release with the new Odyssey 2 or whatever the hell they want to call the next Mario game in that line of games. Um, so
Mario Iliad. It's going to be Iliad. It's going to be Iliad. If the last one was Odyssey, this one's going to be Iliad,
so that'd be very curious because that
and
was
I am ready
actually
for it.
that was the first game that I got for my Switch, and I played it and beat it, and I love that fucking game. So be really curious to see what the next iteration of the Mario games are, outside of any remakes and remasters that they decide to bring over again. But here nor there. Let's go ahead and move on to some exciting news, bringing something back from the past, like Nintendo does. And Fortnite said, no one wants to bring back Rock Band or Guitar Hero. We got you, bro. It's already in Fortnite, but they're bringing back local 4-player multiplayer soon. So be able to rock out in the bedroom with your boys. I don't know if they're
In
adding
the
any.
bedroom with the
And
boys.
boys,
Rock out with your
pause.
cock out in the bedroom
Woo!
with the boys.
Woo!
Go ahead and put that. Go ahead and toss that mature rating on this episode because we're about to get weird.
But yeah, that'd be awesome to see. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Like Roger, any get-togethers at your house, pause. Be pretty cool to I'm not sure if this game even supports any other instruments outside of like the guitar because we know the new guitar controller is coming out, from PDP. So it'd be pretty cool to see if they bring back like the drums, the bass, yeah, the microphone, and stuff like that. Basically, bringing what Rock Band and Guitar Hero did back in the day. Because I don't know about you, but we had a lot of great memories back in the day playing that as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to some other exciting news because I think this game is going to be one of the most under the radar for a little bit, but I think it's going to be a really massive game. So Scott, if you want to take this away here.
Yeah. So Exodus devs, right? So they're the devs behind the Mass Effect trilogy, Archetype Entertainment. They are working on Exodus. A lot of people that know, Exodus and the Mass Effect franchise sounds familiar. Uh, they are working on basically just an evil, an evil place, just an evil civilization. And they were saying that some of the in-game journeys that you can take, that you can do, can actually last like decades in here. It's going to be affecting relationships, but the studio's founder James Olin and Chad Robertson have shared details on that, saying that it's going to affect in-game. Like when you go, Exodus's journeys will actually will fully affect in-game relationships. Players are going to have a major hub called Persepolis, which will be your takeoff point for Exodus journeys. When you leave the hub, an Exodus journey can take decades to complete in game. And when the player returns, their relationships will be completely different given the time difference. So that's huge. Um,
I wonder if they mean
Sounds
decades
like a
like
JRPG to me.
yeah,
like
it's
like
getting it's giving JRPG. It's 100% giving JRPG.
because I wonder if like decades like in game timeline wise, not opposed to like in world where like 10 years from now, the game is going to be completely different based on your journey that you.
No. It's in game time. It's 100% game time. Like when you leave, not everyone has come on an exodus with you. When you leave people behind and you come back, it could be 10 years later, could be 40
I,
years later,
so it's gonna be like
and the choices
Interstellar.
you made.
So like
Yeah,
that
and the
one
choices
planet,
you
2 minutes
made.
go
Yeah,
by is like 20 years went by on the other planet.
yeah. An hour is 7 years. Yes. So it's gonna be interesting. Some weird shit's gonna happen. I can't wait to see what happens when somebody goes and comes back and it's been 40, 50 years. But they're still the same, and uh, love interests, parents, like friends, everything like that. I'm interested to
They're
see.
all dead.
They're all dead or waiting for you to come back to give you one brief little bit of character development, and then they will die. So, but they're also saying that the Exodus's villains are going to be celestial evil beings. They're basically making just that colony just 100% evil. And then yeah, so they're called the Marayaba, and according to Robertson, they are quite creepy. And we did want a celestial civilization that was just evil, which is just what they're giving us. That is it, which is nice. Don't have to worry about don't have to worry about multiple layers in the villains and all that good stuff. You want somebody that's just evil, there they are.
It's simplified.
It's just so simple. I mean, which is great because the rest of the game sounds like it will not be.
Because I'm very curious to see how it plays. Like if they do, obviously from the original trilogy at Mass Effect, like you had the whole Paragon system. Like if you wanted to be evil or if you wanted to be good, like how does that affect that kind of stuff too? It's like if they're evil, but you're doing evil shit, like how evil are you? You know, are you their level of evil, or are you just like a mediocre version of evil?
Are you the lesser of two evils?
Yeah, are you the friend of my enemy, or the
Yeah.
enemy of my friend? You know.
Yeah, and to close that out, there is no release date for Exodus yet, but it is
Mhm.
coming. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that's on my radar, and I hope it comes out. And hopefully, it's good. They have a lot to live up to. All right, Roger. Let's go ahead and talk about Sega. No new consoles from Sega, but you know.
So Sega has trademarked the name Echo the Dolphin. This game is a 1992 action like an action RPG sort of exploration game. So you played as a dolphin trying to search for his family or his pod that has gone missing, and you pretty much swim the world trying to find them, but it's like an action adventure game where you go looking around for them. And so they've trademarked their old IP to play it again, but it wasn't just like an action adventure. You also like fought aliens and shit, so there was that as well. Like it was definitely a game.
Yeah, I got some
It was
gameplay.
it was one of the games ever made
It was a game.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, I do got the video up on screen, so unfortunately you're missing out on it. But I'm not gonna lie,
It
like a
also
game.
had 3D as well in it.
I mean, this game was
There
from
was literally a
'92.
3D mode.
It's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
The Genesis, dude, was this Genesis or was this? You said 92, so that had to have been the Genesis, right?
this was
Or would that not? Would that be Dreamcast at that point?
I don't
my
think it was
man here,
Dreamcast.
Genesis. It
Yeah, it was
was
Genesis,
Genesis.
yeah,
Sega Genesis
yeah.
that
The
this was
Genesis was
on.
lit. Genesis was fucking lit for sure. I would like to see a Genesis 2 or Genesis 362. You know,
XZY.
XZY. Or just call it Exodus. And then they can get into Leviticus and then Numbers and then Deuteronomy and just go on from there. Honestly, the sky's the limit. The sky's the first testament, but still the sky's the limit.
They're getting into the weeds right now, my friend. All right, yeah. So that's all we got from Sega this week, though. But we got some exciting news coming from Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Take it away, my friend.
Yes, we do. And that news is DLC 1 Hero of Justice. We are getting 11 new characters. I think we're pulling it up here. Are you pulling up the trailer on that?
You got it.
So you get Gohan from Superhero, Gohan Superhero Super Saiyan 2, Ultimate Gohan from Superhero, Gohan Beast, Piccolo from Superhero, Piccolo potential unlocked, Orange Piccolo as some people would refer to, Orange Piccolo Giant, Gamma 2, and Cell Max, the laziest villain ever written. I love this. I'm here for it. The laziest ending to a Dragon Ball story that we could have gotten. Literally remaster of the Cell fight, but with a little just extra flair. I don't know if any of you guys watched it. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. They're using the same exact lines, and then it was like, but Gohan still looks sweet though. Like Gohan still look cool though. Super super.
My man's still
like,
looking fly.
well, it was like the animators went through and like I don't know if anybody else did this as a kid. I'm fucking 100% guilty of this. Like Googling or like YouTubing like Super Saiyan 17 Goku with like the silver hair and the eyes and like just the random stupid fan art with like 7.5 miles of hair behind him and it's silver and like all this good shit. And I was like, yo, they absolutely did that same thing for Gohan. They absolutely did it. They're like, that one looks cool. Use that one, and they put it in, the movie, and I'm not upset about it. Yeah, yeah. The rare Halloween skin Cell was a little weird. Don't know why they picked Cell's second form for Max for Perfect, but whatever. Anyway, these guys are all coming to Sparking Zero, and what's great about it is the animation isn't going to look that different because once again, the movie animation was almost exactly like that as you see it there, almost the exact same thing. So
Do we got a release date?
big news in the Dragon Ball community. I don't believe we've seen a release date yet. I'm actually just looking quick. I'm not seeing one yet.
I guess it got to be soon, since they announced it.
January 20th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 11 p.m.
Tomorrow
for y'all boys over in the UK. So yeah, that actually is tomorrow. $34.99 season pass can get the full DLC pack and can access that tomorrow.
This game is still on the list that I want to buy this year and play.
So, all right, so the actual date of it is going to be 23 January.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Is going to be the first. Is going to be the found it. Is going to be yes. So you get the 72-hour early access available if you do have the $34.99 to spare on a season pass for that. Worth it. Worth it. But yeah, that's a great addition to the game, and that's going to be super cool. A lot of people are really excited for that. But coming from an addition into a subtraction from a game, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the news for Rockstar and GTA 5 recently going on. But yeah, Rockstar
the
shuts
swing
down.
glitch was still there.
Yep, and Rockstar shuts down Grand Theft Auto 5's Liberty City mod. So for anybody who is unfamiliar, I really hope you're not getting snow under that rock you live under. But Rockstar Games has shut down the GTA 5 Liberty City mod that let people go to Liberty City. It had a fully functional map. It was amazing. You could travel to Liberty City by an airplane, and you could just go do that experience. Had its own special vehicles, subway, other things, just because the modders really poured a lot of heart and soul into that. But on January 15th, a lot of people were already concerned about this. But they took it offline once its creator actually had a conversation with a Rockstar, which I can only assume included a chair, chains, and a baseball bat. So those are just, I assume, at least what was needed for that. Where they said, we will break your legs if you don't get rid of this. But they did say, hello everyone. Due to the unexpected attention that our project received after speaking with Rockstar Games, we have decided to take down the Liberty City Preservation Project. We appreciate all the support that the project has received, and we look forward to continuing to pursue our passion for modding the Grand Theft Auto series. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. It's not the first one they've taken down, but like a lot of people really, really liked the Liberty City mod because it really was that well done.
Hmm.
So that's just a bummer. I
I'm sure.
wouldn't
I'm sure
say
they'll
it's really a black eye for them.
they'll buy the assets and then sell it to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Bye.
wouldn't yeah I wouldn't say yeah bye. They already sorry
They
guy.
they seized it.
Yeah. Uh, it's not totally a black eye for them just because they got GTA 6 coming out soon. I'm sure they're gonna do something with something. Who knows? Um, but still a bummer.
Yeah, they're basically trying to take everything off the market, like clearing the way for GTA 6. They don't want anything deviating any of the attention to any other GTA content other than GTA 6 whenever that drops.
I honestly hope somebody mods GTA 6 into GTA 5 and then just fucking
That would be hilarious. But
Are you not entertained? No, that's why I'm playing this. Thanks.
they
so
take the new map and just mod it into GTA 5 and say fuck you. I hope it's the same developer too, honestly.
that would be hilarious. But nonetheless, last but not least here, we wanted to talk about TikTok ban and not necessarily about TikTok itself, but most of us, including myself, did not know it was going to include a long list of other applications. So TikTok, outside of that, got TikTok Studio, TikTok Shop Seller, TikTok Lite, CapCut. Unfortunately, I use that a lot. Lemon 8, Goth, Marvel Snap, Land of Empires, Mission Evo, Hypic, Lark, Milolo,
Malolo.
Fizzo, Mytopia Books, and Tokopedia were all basically cleaned out as of midnight last night. TikTok is back. I don't can't confirm for the other ones. I can confirm that Marvel Snap is still not online. I just tried to update it and download it again, and it was like, nope, can't download it in your country. And I'm like that's fucking like blows because like the developer behind it is from California, but the person who published it was ByteDance, who owns the publishing rights. So it's just like, what the fuck? Like they got to figure this out. Honestly, like I'm I'm tired of all the misinformation too. Like, oh, we're deleting it because of all the security threats, and I'm like, that's a lie, because we store all of our data from TikTok on servers in Texas when Trump implemented that a while ago. So it's like
Not gonna stop them.
it
Yeah.
because then like there's
Not
Well,
that
gonna
it's
new
stop
sandbox.
them.
the
It's
new
sandboxed.
the new app that everyone's flocking to is Red Note, and that's completely controlled
That's
by
Oh
China.
yeah.
that is a literal Chinese application.
Yep.
Yeah,
And here's the thing: if it was really that big of a concern, why is that shit available?
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. So as far as the accessibility of the data for the users, the Oracle servers in Texas are sandboxed. Like they are independent of anything else that ByteDance would really do. Um, and Senator, I'm Singaporean. There's nobody from China who's working on TikTok. Um, if data was the concern, um, what what all has been. I don't know. My headset just clicked. I think it's my FBI agents just changed shifts. So he's in for a new one. If data was the concern, um, Office of Personnel Management (OPM.gov) got nailed like 3 times now by bad actors. The Social Security Administration was hacked. Does anybody remember that?
Yeah, everybody's social
Hackers
security number was leaked.
hackers had my daughter's social security number before I could get my daughter's social security number, and I had to drive like 30 miles between all the places just to get it, and I only got a white slip of paper. That was it. uh Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Google, all of them
We're one of the
data
only.
data
We're
taken.
only. We're one of the only G7 that doesn't have data privacy laws.
For some
Which
reason.
is weird. Um and then yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I'm really
It's
just
just
convinced
ridiculous.
that it's
And
the
then
censorship, and like we're
it
kind of
it
seeing that now with like Mark
it
Zuckerberg
100%
coming
is.
out on the most recent episode of like Joe Rogan Experience, where he talked about like, yeah, the government, yeah, they came to me and was like, hey, you need to censor all of this shit about the COVID stuff and whatnot. And you're just like, and they know that they can't censor TikTok in any way, shape, or form, and that's the problem.
Well, it's because TikTok was not state funded media anymore. Like that's really it. I mean, like we can go all the way back to like when when did all this really start? The answer is 1948 with the Smith-Mundt Act, and then after that it goes to jumps to 2013 because they repealed some of that, and now state funding can go into media such as CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, fucking all that good shit. Everything became
Right.
state-funded media except for TikTok. Add that with the fact that Tom Cotton, who introduced the bill and grilled a Singaporean national on TV about his ties to China multiple times, um, who introduced that bill, and he has a decent amount of stock in Meta, which is completely unrelated. I'm sure. And then you have Senator Glasses McWiFi over there going, Mr. Zhao, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi? Why does it do that? Or Mr. Zhao, why is it every time I open up TikTok there's cute little ladyboys on there? Please tell me why that is, and can you tell me what an algorithm is? Like just dumb shit. Like the whole farce behind data privacy, like nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it. And on top of that, people were on TikTok saying, we don't buy this. Like essentially TikTok, for better or worse, regardless of the side of the aisle you're on, it was exposing everything in near real time.
Yeah.
If Fox News or conservative politicians came out and said this, that, and the other, 20 minutes later, there's a video of them saying it, documentation that that's false, and it's already out to the it's
on
people.
TikTok,
Same
yeah.
thing. Yeah, same thing on the left side of the aisle. Like this, that, and the other. A lot of people. COVID was a huge one that really got a lot of people because people were like, this is misinformation. This isn't true, or it's like Anthony Fauci in 2024 going, we never recommended that the country get shut down. And then 6 months earlier, you see a video of him going, I've never recommended we shut the country down. And then it goes back to one of the first things he says. He's like, against a lot of wishes, I recommended that we shut the country down.
Yeah. People
And
get
it's
caught
like
up.
shit like that. It's because if you have TikTok, people don't forget. If you have things like TikTok, people don't forget.
Yeah.
On Instagram, somebody's posting that, hey, this goes against our community guidelines, it's down. You're never going to hear that shit on Fox News. You're never going to hear that shit on MSN, CNN, anything like that. You're never going to hear it because the state, the crown, if you will, the crown can just call and say, don't fucking post that shit. Same thing happened on Twitter after Elon Musk bought it. You saw Jack Dorsey emails and you saw content moderation team emails with the administration saying, hey, make sure the Hunter Biden laptop story is thrown away as misinformation. Make sure that when people see that, they know that 57 intelligence community members signed this paper, this affidavit saying that is Russian disinformation. And guess what? That ended up being fucking true. Like it's so you just see a bunch of that stuff and people caught on, and like TikTok was that last little piece. And you hear a lot of like local news, any news. What do they refer to it as? The TikTok dancing app. Like, because people just put why is everyone freaking out so much about this app that people go on and dance on?
Because it's more than just that, my friend.
And they just try to downplay it like so much, and you could see everything that's at work.
Yeah.
Like once you put the sunglasses on, you can see you could see that shit. And I think that's really what it was. It was sell to an American company, so an American government can tell you what to allow. And then they realized that nobody was going to buy it. And if you saw any of the videos from those like last ditch efforts saying, like people that introduced it saying, well, hold on, we need to double check. Hold on. We maybe extend this to find a buyer. Maybe Mr. fucking wonderful Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank can buy it.
I saw Mr. Beast also put an offer in.
Yeah, and it's like you saw people like we need to get rid of this because it is a huge security concern. And guess what? Nobody offered to buy it. And what's the first thing they did? We might need to extend this, guys. We might need to extend this.
Yeah.
Because once they realized nobody wanted to buy it, then it became a freedom of speech issue for them.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. I just want to circle this back just to 2 points. one.
After that, our whole episode got flagged, so I do apologize, guys.
Just trying to bring it back to gaming. If anybody does want to have access to not Rivals, Marvel Snap, or Land of Empires or Mission Evo, which to be honest never heard of either of those, but you could just download a VPN and that bypasses pretty much that completely altogether. Just set your location to be in a different country. And there's
I've
your
met a couple
workaround.
of people on Marvel Snap. They don't speak a lick of English. They keep saying something about launch codes, but they're really nice. They're really, really nice people.
Yeah. So if anybody's looking to play those, definitely just go check out a VPN, whichever you. I know a lot of people talk about VPNs. I don't know too much about them, but it seems like it's a way to protect your own internet and bypass a lot of the government's securities in a way.
Except for Keep Solid. If Keep Solid comes out saying that they're gonna let you access that stuff, no, they won't, because I have Keep Solid and I couldn't access anything.
Damn. But yeah, man, that's all the news that we guys got for you guys this week. You guys want to let any updates or concerns or anything you guys want to address? Nothing this week. Cool. So we do want to thank anyone who did come through and check us out live today here on Twitch, and anyone who just check us out later on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. But Roger, where can we find you at?
Hey, I'm always here or on Discord, so.
Hey, what about you, Scott?
You can find me here 75 to 80% of the Sundays that we are here. And then you can always find me on Discord. It's what we want.
And of course, everyone, you can check me out on Twitter at Mr. Never _. Threads is Mr. Never Chillin'. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin'. PlayStation Network is VBrew24. Facebook is Vic Brubacher for any questions, concerns, or if you want to come on a show. Make sure you follow me on Twitch whenever I do decide to start streaming again at twitch.tv/Mr. Never Chillin'. And before we close this week's episode, I did want to highlight and shout out to my wife on creating the first official merch of the podcast. So if anybody wants a tumbler, reach out to me and I'll give you all the details and get that to you as soon as possible. But we do want to thank everyone again. And until next week, peace.
Restart podcast.